The Galactic Council had made many mistakes in their 3 million-year reign over the civilized cosmos, but none would prove as catastrophic as underestimating humanity's capacity for retribution. Commander Susan Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Reckoning, her dark eyes fixed on the view screen displaying the Krell home system. Behind her, the largest human fleet ever assembled waited in formation. 600 warships, each carrying weapons the galaxy had never seen and hoped never to witness. "Ma'am, we're receiving another transmission from the Council," reported Lieutenant Lucas Morgan, his voice steady despite the weight of what they were about to do. "They're threatening sanctions, economic blockades, military intervention." Susan didn't turn from the view screen. "Tell them they should have thought of that before the Krell raided Colony 7. 3 months. That's how long it had been since the Krell slavers descended upon humanity's outer colonies. The Council had called it an unfortunate incident. They promised investigations, committees, diplomatic resolutions. They offered compensation in credits and resources. They didn't understand that humans don't negotiate for their children. The Krell had taken 247 children from Colony 7, intending to sell them in the Outer Rim's flesh markets. By the time human forces intercepted the slaver ship, 103 were already dead, deemed defective merchandise, and jettisoned into space. Lucas pulled up the tactical display. The Krell defensive fleet is positioning themselves around their sun. 73 capital ships, maybe 300 support vessels. "They're hailing us, ma'am. The warlord Zethrak himself." "Put him through." The view screen flickered and the massive reptilian face of Zethrak filled the display. His translator rendered his hissing speech into clipped, arrogant English. "Human Commander, you are in violation of 17 galactic accords by entering Krell space with a military fleet. Withdraw immediately or face destruction. The Council will—" "The Council isn't here," Susan interrupted, her voice cold as deep space. "You are, and you took our children." Zethrak's mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. "Softskins. You wage war over breeding stock? In the galaxy, the strong take from the weak. This is natural law. You are weak. Your spawn was—" Susan made a cutting gesture and Lucas terminated the transmission. "All ships," Susan said into the fleet-wide channel. "Operation Daybreak is now active. Stellar disruption teams begin deployment." Across the human fleet, specialized vessels broke formation. These weren't warships in the traditional sense. They were science vessels, experimental platforms, ships that had been built in secret in the Oort Cloud shipyards. Humanity had always been good at turning theory into terrible practice. The Krell fleet moved to intercept, confident in their numerical advantage. They had been raiding species across the galaxy for centuries. They knew war. They didn't know humanity. The first human salvo wasn't directed at the Krell ships. Instead, hunter-killer drones swarmed forward, millions of them, each no larger than a human fist, each equipped with quantum processors that made them smarter than most species' fighter pilots. They didn't attack the Krell fleet. They simply enveloped it, created a sphere of interference and chaos that turned the Krell's targeting systems into static. While the Krell fleet flailed in digital darkness, the stellar disruption teams reached their positions around the Krell sun. Lucas monitored the deployment with professional detachment, though his hands trembled slightly. "Disruption platforms are in position, standing by for activation sequence." Susan thought of the children, of little Maya Rodriguez, age 6, who wanted to be an astronaut, of twins Jacob and Jordan Lee, age 8, who built robots from scrap, of baby Emma Stone, only 2 years old, who would never grow up to see the stars her parents had promised to show her. "Director Chen, this is Ambassador Williams aboard the Council observer ship." A new voice crackled through. "In the name of galactic peace, I'm begging you to reconsider. What you're planning, it's genocide. It will make humanity pariahs. Every species in the galaxy watched while our children were murdered," Susan replied. The Council held meetings. "The Krell are still free, still raiding, still killing." She paused. "Humanity tried peace, Ambassador. We tried justice. We tried their way." She nodded to Lucas. "Activate." The stellar disruption platforms came online simultaneously, each one containing technology that had been deemed too dangerous to ever construct. Gravitational disruptors that could manipulate space-time itself. Humanity had discovered them in theoretical physics centuries ago and had wisely never built them. Until now. The Krell sun began to die. It didn't explode. That would have been mercy. Instead, its fusion reactions destabilized, becoming chaotic. The star began to cool and collapse, its light dimming from brilliant yellow to angry red. The gravitational fluctuations created tidal forces that started ripping apart the inner planets. The Krell fleet finally understood. Their desperate transmissions filled every channel. Pleas, threats, offers of surrender. Their ships broke formation, trying to flee, but there was nowhere to go. Their entire civilization orbited a dying star. "Ma'am, the Council is hailing. All 13 member species," Lucas reported quietly. Susan watched the Krell sun continue its forced evolution toward death. In 72 hours, it would become a black dwarf, a stellar corpse, dark and cold. The Krell homeworld would freeze, then shatter. "Tell the Council that humanity has learned an important lesson," Susan said. "In the galaxy, the strong take from the weak. This is natural law." She turned to face Lucas, her expression carved from ice. "And we just showed them exactly how strong humans can be." The fleet remained in position, maintaining the stellar disruption field, ensuring that not a single Krell ship escaped. There would be no survivors to raid other colonies, no slavers to steal other species' children. The galaxy would remember this day. They would remember that humanity, pushed past tolerance, past diplomacy, past mercy, had erased an entire star from the cosmos. They had stolen Earth's children, so Earth had stolen their tomorrow. Lucas initiated the fleet-wide broadcast, and Susan's final words echoed across human space. "Let this be humanity's message to the galaxy. Touch our children, and we will unmake your world. Harm our innocence, and we will extinguish your sun. We are done asking for justice. From this day forward, we take it." The Krell sun guttered and died, and humanity's age of retribution had begun. The end.